guys, welcome to today's video. My name is Jennifer and I'm getting ready to do my Sunday meal prep video. If you are new here, please subscribe and click that like button down below and that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I upload a video. I typically put out about 3 videos per week, and sometimes there may be an extra one thrown in there as well. So for today's menu, we are doing chicken with quinoa and peppers. I got some kind of a garlic rub or whatever to put on the chicken. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. I think we've used it a long time ago, but we will see. And then I'm also going to do the egg roll in a bowl, and along with that I'm going to make some cauliflower fried rice. And then of course I prep my fruit as I usually do to take for my lunches. I don't prep lunch for the week because I take a turkey sandwich and just the fruit with me for my lunch to work, and so I just make my sandwich either the night before or the morning of before going into work. So stick with me, let's get into these meals and see this prep, how it turns out. Hopefully you find something that you would like to make as well. And please, if you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. Okay, we are getting ready to start on the meal prep, and this is the fruit. We always do it first. As usual, I have my pineapple, my cantaloupe, and then we have all of these bell peppers because we are doing chicken, quinoa, and peppers for one of our meals. And then 3 of the peppers I will use to dice for my breakfast as I usually do. Then I have my tomato for my sandwiches for lunch and my blueberries back there. So the tomatoes, the peppers, and the blueberries will all be washed in the vinegar and water as usual, and that is the best way to clean your fruit, and no, it does not taste like vinegar. So we're going to get to chopping. My husband Charlie is. He does all of the chopping for me, which is wonderful, while I eat my breakfast, and then we will jump into the first meal prep. Okay guys, I have all of my fruit ready to put into the containers for the week, and I'm probably going to do a little speed clip of this so that you don't have to watch this long drawn out process, because I do the same thing every week. I think I'm only going to have enough to do 6 containers, maybe 7, we'll see. My pineapple is looking pretty ripe, so I hope that it makes it through the week. If not, then we'll have to stop and pick up another one because it's looking a little bit brown. The cantaloupe, it's so-so. I know the seasons are changing and the struggle is real on the fruit, but I'm still trying to stick to my same fruits because that's what I love. My blueberries look really good, which I don't know if you can see those on the camera over there, but I have washed those, let those soak for about 10 or 15 minutes in the vinegar and water, and they are fresh and clean. And then I will also fill my yogurt containers to take with me as well. So I'm going to get into it and get this fruit together and get it in the refrigerator so that we can move on to the actual meal prep.
I ran away from heartbreak, got nothing in return for my pain. I never thought I'd be so empty, so alone and afraid. Wasn't looking for a lover, nobody understood where I've been. I guess I thought I needed more time to protect my love from potential offense. So then you came around and you, but I shut it down. So you took it down, and I'm not surprised by what I found, because I know I needed something different, and it had to be you. Out the blue, somebody who it had to be you. I didn't seem to notice that you were checking for me. We were just friends.
Alright, here is the fruit and the yogurt. It is all prepped, ready to go into the refrigerator. It just makes my lunch so easy, and I just grab a container of each and throw in my lunchbox, make my sandwich in the mornings, grab my banana, my Fiber One bar, make my protein coffee that I take with me, and I'm ready to go. So Can't get any easier than that. Okay guys, I've got my bell peppers here. I'm going to set you down so that you can see just how I store those. I've already run those through the little dicer, so they are already ready to put into the container. And so here they are, this little chopper we just picked up at Walmart for $10 a long time ago, and it's been a great little investment. So there we go. This is how I store it. I put the paper towels in there to help absorb the moisture. It's a way to keep it fresh for the week. And that's it. Okay guys, I'm getting ready to start on my chicken and quinoa and peppers. The first thing I'm going to do is get my peppers into the pan because they take a little while to just kind of sit here and simmer until they get soft. So I'm going to spray my pan pretty good with some olive oil spray. And then I'm just going to put some salt and pepper on the peppers. And that's pretty much it. You don't need a lot of seasonings with this. And then I'll just salt and pepper them again once I kind of turn the pan over. turn the plate of peppers over into the pan. And I'm just going to put the lid on these and let these just kind of get to where they're, you know, pretty soft, not too soft, just to the right consistency. Give those a little stir. It's on high for a minute. Once I hear it kind of start sizzling, then I will turn it down on low heat. I don't even know if you can see the peppers. Let's see here. There they are. So I'm going to put the lid on that and then turn it down here in a minute and just let those simmer until they are softened to my liking. Hey guys. Okay, my husband's having to make a quick trip to the store because I did not have enough quinoa. I thought that I had a whole extra bag. I should have checked. I should have known, but you know, I was placing that online order and I thought, oh yeah, I've got that, but I don't. So he is heading to Publix to pick up another bag of quinoa because I just have a little bit left. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the chicken, and what I'm going to use to season the chicken is this roasted garlic and herb by Weber's. I don't know if you can see that on the screen or not, if it's focusing, but this is pretty good. It's been a long time since I've used it, and we just have the chicken diced into little bite-sized pieces. So I'm just going to salt and pepper it and then give it a good coating in this and saute it in this skillet until it is nice and crispy and fully cooked, because like I've said before, I like everything really well done. So we will get this going, and hopefully it turns out good. And then when he gets back with the quinoa, I actually cook it in my rice cooker. So there's really not that much to do for that, and it only takes about 15 or 20 minutes anyway. And by that time, the chicken and the peppers should be cooled down and ready to plate up. Okay, I'm just gonna salt and pepper the chicken, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add some of this garlic seasoning on here, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this in the skillet, which is hot. Another spatula, throw that around. It probably won't take that long for this chicken to cook. And then I'm going to season this side as well. The chicken is probably about done. It's all looking good, but I want to get it nice and crispy on the outside, so I'm going to leave it in for a little while and just kind of sear it. And the peppers, they're looking nice and soft. I'm still just letting them sit here. I'm going to put the lid back on. They could still be a little bit softer. Okay, so the chicken and peppers is done. I kind of moved the chicken over. I turned my back for a minute and it almost started to burn a little bit, but that's all right by me. I will still eat it, and then the peppers, they are perfect. So I'm just going to wait for the quinoa to get here and then get that cooked up, and then we will put that all together. Okay guys, I'm finally getting ready to put the quinoa on. My husband is back from the grocery store, so this is the quinoa that we're going to use, this Ancient Harvest, and I'm going to make 1.5 cups of it dry, which I think should end up to be 6 servings, which is what we need. So I've already got that measured out. Here is 1 cup of quinoa, and I've just sprayed, I'm cooking this in my rice cooker. I've sprayed it with just some nonstick cooking spray, and then here's the other 1/2 cup. And then to that, I basically need double the amount of that in liquid. So I need 3 cups of liquid. So I don't know if you remember last week, I had to use a little bit of chicken broth for something, so I saved it for this. So I'm going to use the rest of this chicken broth and then just the rest in water. The chicken broth will give the quinoa a good flavor, which that's actually 3/4 of a cup. So I'm going to get some water here. So that is 2 cups of liquid, whoops, including the chicken broth. And then I'm going to do another 1/2 cup. No, another cup. There we go. There's another cup of water. So that's 3 cups of liquid to 1.5 cups of quinoa. And then this is simple. You just shut it, turn it on to cook. I'm going to kind of turn it this way so that the steam doesn't hit underneath my cabinets, and just let that sit, and it'll be done, and it'll just keep it warm until I get back to it. So it should be about 20 minutes. I'm hoping I can do the egg roll in a bowl while this is finishing up. So we are trying to get things done. We had to take a little pause for the grocery store run, and now I'm gonna jump into the egg roll in a bowl. Okay guys, I'm getting ready to do the egg roll in a bowl. For that, you will need some lean ground turkey breast. I have 2 pounds that I'm gonna use since we're making 6 servings. And then you're gonna need a couple of bags of cabbage, which this is the coleslaw mix. It has a little bit of carrots in it, but I also have carrots as well. So I'm gonna use both bags of the cabbage, and then I'll probably just use about half of this bag of carrots in there since the cabbage has some carrots in it as well. You're gonna need some soy sauce, some sesame oil, and some ginger, which it says it calls for fresh ginger root, but I have this ginger paste, and so that's what I'm going to use because I never use all of the ginger root up. And then some minced garlic. So basically I'm going to brown up my turkey and then add some salt and pepper, put in some minced garlic and the sesame oil, and mix in the cabbage and the carrots and the ginger and the soy sauce, and it'll just combine all together. And then I will show you how we're going to eat that, what we're going to have with it for dinner. Okay, I'm using this big pot, and I have not used this yet. I picked this up a little while ago at, I think, Marshall's, because I can't find my wok, and with the cabbage and stuff in there, it does get kind of deep. I want to be able to really stir everything, so I think this pot's going to work fine. I'm just going to turn it on kind of like a medium heat for a minute. I am going to spray it with some nonstick cooking spray. And I'm going to get my ground turkey in there and get it salted and peppered. The turkey is finally cooked enough, and so now I'm going to basically add in the rest of my ingredients. So to this, I'm going to add in about a cup of soy sauce. And this is the low sodium soy sauce. I know this is still probably going to be a high sodium meal, but I go into that understanding that I may be a little bloated with it, and I'm okay with that. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. Ginger, I'm just going to do a good little squeeze in there. I did kind of double the recipe so that we would have enough servings. And then I'm going to add in a couple of teaspoons of this minced garlic. Of course, you can also do a couple of garlic cloves, which is what I think it calls for. I'm just going to give this a quick stir. And then I'm going to add in the cabbage and the carrots. I'm going to go ahead and go in with all of the cabbage. And we're going to do about half of this bag of carrots. They're 0 points. I'm not going to really measure it. So this is one reason I chose this big pot, was so that I would be able to really get in here and stir and coat the cabbage and the carrots with the sesame oil and the soy sauce and everything, so that everything kind of is blended well. As you can see, some is still trying to jump out here. So actually this deep pot works perfect for this meal. And I'm just going to set it to the side and start the cauliflower rice. Okay, I've kind of moved my egg roll over here to this other eye just so that it can stay warm and still kind of, you know, cook down the cabbage and stuff a little bit. Let me turn it around so you can see that. You can't see that, so it's just sitting there. And I'm going to go ahead and do the cauliflower rice really quick. So this is a recipe that I got from Louise Lane. If a lot of y'all follow her, you might have already seen this recipe. But I'm going to use 2 bags of the cauliflower medley Green Giant. So I'm just going to add both of those, and then of course salt and pepper to taste. I'm just going to put the lid on until this is softened up. And then we will come back to that. Okay, so the cauliflower rice has gotten tender. It's about done, and now I'm ready to go ahead and add in my garlic. It just calls for a teaspoon of garlic, so I'm just going to kind of do a heaping teaspoon there. And then it calls for 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, which I've already measured that out. And then the packet of fried rice seeds. This is the one that I've always used. It's pretty good. I've gotten it at Kroger or at Target. And I'm going to put that whole packet in. And then we're basically just going to mix all of that up. And then once it's completely done, I'm going to add an egg in. and I'll kind of show you how to do that. Okay, so the cauliflower rice is pretty much done, and I'm going to push it over to one side of this pan that it's in. I'm going to put my egg in the other side and let it cook. And then once it's fully cooked, I will mix it in with the rest of the rice. I'm just going to kind of scramble it with my spatula. And it doesn't matter if a little bit of the rice gets in there with it. So you know how they do at the Japanese restaurants. They always add the egg in with the fried rice. So I just think this makes it taste just a little bit like the real thing. And to be honest, with that fried rice seasoning packet, you cannot tell that this is cauliflower. It really tastes like real rice. It is worth it. Again, remember, this is going to be a higher sodium meal because of all of the soy sauce that's in the egg roll in a bowl, and then there was 4 tablespoons of soy sauce in this as well. So you might have a little bloat. But there, I think that egg is cooked enough. Now I'm just going to mix it all in there together and let it simmer for probably just another minute or two, and it will be completely done. Okay, I'm ready to plate up the egg roll in a bowl and the cauliflower fried rice. I'm not going to measure it, I'm just going to eyeball it. And I've got these 2 compartment containers here. They're a little stained up, but they still work good. I'm just going to kind of go in with a big scoop into each one. Okay, I have the egg roll in a bowl portioned out. As you can see, the containers are really full, so that is a huge portion. And then I'm going to kind of do the same thing with the rice. I'm just going to go in until I get it evenly distributed. Okay, there we go. Those are done. Okay guys, the egg roll in a bowl is done, and the cauliflower fried rice. I just wanted to pull out these chicken pot stickers and the vegetable spring rolls. We will have 2 pot stickers and 1 spring roll along with the meal. So again, I will put the points in the description box below. Alright, so the quinoa is looking perfectly done. That's one reason I just like to put it in this rice cooker. What I'm going to do is probably portion it out. I think each of us can get a cup, which everything else is going to be 0, so I don't really mind the points for that much quinoa. So I'm going to see if we can get a cup into each container. Okay guys, I have the quinoa here, and I'm just going to use a measuring cup. And I'm hoping that I can get about that much per bowl. So there we go, there is the quinoa. So I have the peppers here. I'm not going to measure those. Again, I will just eyeball it. They are 0 points. Okay, there's the peppers. And now the chicken. I'm just going to use that same spoon and just do like a big scoop and go around until I get it evened out. If you're on the blue plan or the purple plan, the chicken is 0 and the peppers are 0. And then I'm not 100% sure what the quinoa comes out to be, but I will have that in the description box below because I will put the recipe down there for you. And there we go. Here's our 6 bowls of chicken and quinoa and peppers. And I think this will come out to be about 5 or 6 points depending on the points for the quinoa. Again, everything else is 0. Looks perfect. Okay, I'm back for my last thing. I am going to make a different dessert for this week. I'm going to make butterscotch caramel pudding. What you only need 2 ingredients for that. You need a box of the sugar-free Jello butterscotch flavored pudding mix, which I've already put that in my bowl. I just put the whole packet in there. And then you're going to need 2 cups of the Premier caramel protein. So it's probably going to be about 1.5 of these bottles, and you do want it cold, so I just took these out of the refrigerator, and I'm going to measure out 2 cups of this, and then we are going to use the little hand mixer and mix it up. So I'm going to set you down, and I think this is going to end up making 4 servings at 2 points each, or you can make 6 servings and it might come out to 1 point. We'll see how it portions out once I portion it into the little jars. So there is exactly 2 cups of the Premier Protein. I'm going to put that in, and then we are going to blend it until it's the right consistency. And so there we go. I think that is about the right consistency. I'm going to get my little jars and we will get it portioned out. Okay, so I have these cute little jars that I picked up at Target a while ago. These are just, I don't even know what size these are, but these are perfect if you want to make just like a little pudding dessert or something like that. And I think the last time that I made these that I came out with 4 servings. But I'm just going to start pouring it straight from the bowl. I think I'm going to measure it and just try to portion out 4 even, which it's kind of thickening already. If you notice, I don't like to take the time to measure stuff perfectly. And so here they are. I got 4 servings out of it, and it's pretty much about 3/4 of a cup per jar. If you wanted to just do half a cup per jar, then you could do that, and I think it would bring it down to 1 point. But you know, 2 points for a good little pudding is not that bad. One thing that I like to do is top it with some of the Reese's whip, which I'll show you that. Let me get that out of the refrigerator actually. I'll just carry you with me because I have 2 or 3 different kinds of Ready Whips up here. So if you're non-dairy, you can always use the non-dairy coconut milk Ready Whip, which this is 0 points for I think 5 grams of it. And then I think for the Reese's it's 1 point for 5 grams, which is 2 tablespoons, but it's definitely worth the 1 point. And I've had some of this up here that I've needed to use up for a while. And you can also use some of the Lily's dark chocolate chips. So for my full day of eating, if this firms up like it should, which I think it will because it's already firming, then I will include it as my little dessert tonight. So these look good. I'm just going to pop the lids on them and get them in the refrigerator so that they can start cooling. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my meal prep video today. I hope that you got some great ideas, and maybe you will try the egg roll in a bowl or even the chicken with the quinoa and the peppers. That is a really good meal. We've used that for years. Even prior to doing Weight Watchers, we have made that on and off throughout the years just because it's so good. And just a simple meal to throw together in a bowl, and you kind of got a 1 bowl meal that you can throw in the microwave and heat up easily. If you have any comments or suggestions or anything that you would like to see me make, please leave below. And as always, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I hope that I'm putting out some good content for y'all and some, you know, tips and ideas and stuff. So let me know if you have any questions or suggestions, and I will be happy to take those into consideration. Thanks guys. I'll see y'all in the next video.